that wants to run our lives and thinks they're better than us and gets together in a big nasty gang of scum to come try to dominate us. And if you don't have an instinct to want to resist that, something's wrong with you. A bunch of this I've covered. Most of it I haven't. We're going to attempt it one more time. I've never succeeded since I was first on talk radio. First few years on talk radio, I think I was almost better than I am now, because I would get a huge stack of news, stack it this way, not all spread out, and then I would just go through it. I would run through it, ranting. It would take sometimes 2 hours, and the ratings poured in. People loved it, and I just can't seem to do it, because I want to elaborate on each thing. Like this stack over here, like a dog returning to its vomit, I want to go back into the Internet of Things stack because it's so important, but I've already covered it. I mean, look, the feds are a watchdog. They want to save us, but meanwhile, they're coming out all over the world with remote control cars. The government watches everything you do and taxes the daylights out of you, and magically the tracker hubs detect you're already in all the cars. I mean, my gosh, that's over the top. Here's another one, Infowars.com, Daniel Taylor. NSA cyber war will use Internet of Things as weapons platform. Your home is the battlefield. And it has them announcing it in the article. And we got Marshall McLuhan saying World War III is a guerrilla information war with no division between military and civilian participation. And that's in Culture is Our Business, Marshall McLuhan. And boy, was he right. And that's why Vic Vreeland, the former Air Force intelligence officer and deputy fire chief of Austin, came up with the idea for Infowars.com. And by the way, I keep forgetting, I'm sure Vic's still alive. I looked it up. I know he and his wife, I knew his parrot, Petey, till he died. When he retired, he moved to Bastrop. Get me Vic Vreeland. Pay for a limo to take him in here. I remember like 10 years ago, I tried to get Vic Vreeland on air, and he goes, I don't need to, Alex. They don't want to be free. I'm just going to retire. I'm retired. I enjoy myself. He said, I tried. You know, he did talk radio for a long time. He used to fill in for Tom Valentine, who had a huge syndicated show. I want Vic Vreeland in here, and I want him now. And I will punish you with bigger bonuses if you get him. Anyways, there's really only carrots around this office. I spoil everybody, but I have a great crew. All right, let's continue. Well, I do flip out occasionally, so actually there are some sticks around here. NSA cyber war. So there's that article. U.S. signs $2 billion loan agreement with Ukraine. Offers to increase pressure on Russia. It was Vic Vreeland came up with because there's a war on for your mind thing, too. Continuing, no, I'm not a plagiarist, ladies and gentlemen. I revel in giving people the credit they're due because I love humanity and I get off on collaboration with good people. I just love it. That's why I used to always try to work with all these talk show hosts and build up other people and stuff. And I learned very quickly that a lot of people out there take that as weakness and then try to destroy you when you try to help them. But if you transcend that and just keep helping people, you'll find who the good folks are. And it's that process that's part of life already. Sorry, I'm pontificating. U.S. signs $2 billion loan agreement with Ukraine. That'll all be siphoned into George Soros and others' pockets to increase pressure on Russia. We will continue to work with our allies to increase the pressure on Russia. Reuters, isn't that nice to stir up all that trouble on Russia's doorstep? What, do you like Vladimir Putin? Well, I don't like World War III, and I don't like messing with people. I guess so. I guess if I don't want World War III, I secretly massage Putin's bunions. I already mentioned this. It's just insane. Zuckerberg. Let's move on from there. Let's move to this nice stack. We will cut your head... We will cut off your head in the White House. ISIS threatens to behead Obama and turn the U.S. into a Muslim province in new execution video. Well, Obama's already tried to turn us into a radical Muslim province. This is pure red meat propaganda written by a Western intelligence agency. ISIS is al-Qaeda, is being funded by Saudi Arabia, is being funded by NATO. It's all on record. And this is to give Obama cover to make him look good for Americans. It's like Hillary gets up down speeches and goes, I don't think we need open borders. She actually comes to Texas and goes, I'm here to tell you something, boy. I don't like open borders and I don't like gun control. I'm not kidding. I saw that on the news like a month ago. I meant to tell you guys to get it. We do have her in Kentucky going,
I don't feel no ways tired.
That's right. That's in Kentucky.
I don't believe he brought me this far to
Turn her on.
leave me.
Listen, I remember Rick Perry did this. We ought to find the clip because they even played it on 590 making fun of him a few years ago when he was running for president, like 2 or 3 years ago. He went and spoke to, I think it was LULAC. It's Rick Perry, LULAC or La Raza in L.A. And he goes, "Hello, good to be with you to talk. I mean, oh my. I've got relatives and stuff. You'll be in a Mexican food restaurant, and they'll come over and go, hey, hi, how you doing? What would you like to eat? And you're like, I like a taco, bean. I mean, this is this condescending thing that when these politicians are in the South, they go, how you doing, partner? Bring a beer with you. But then when they're talking to what they think is a Hispanic audience, like they can't understand the English, it's amazing. It's like if it was an audience that didn't speak English in Mexico, speak Spanish. Don't sit there and like make up some weird language where you, oh my gosh, if you want to get politically correct, the one thing I see white people do is do that, and I cannot stand it. I'll start making fun of people in my family when they start doing it. If I'm in a restaurant, I go, and do you have, because I cannot stand it. If you were talking about one of my pet peeves, that's it. When I'm in England, I talk like this. When I'm in New York, this is what I sound like. When I'm in L.A., this is what I sound like. Now, you hang around folks enough, you'll start picking up their accent and stuff, but this just shows the pure manipulation. By the way, I don't know how you guys found Hillary doing that fast. We did not plan that, where I was just making fun of her and you did that. So I said I'd cover the news, and obviously I'm not. I'm ranting. We'll cut your head off in the White House. Well, actually, the leader of ISIS is in the White House, so Obama might decide to commit suicide by guillotine. He could pull the rope and trigger it, and it may be true. It is possible that ISIS could chop off the president's head in the White House. And no, it won't be a drone with a remote-control guillotine with a cigar cutter flying at him. I don't know if he can get the big head, but like drones with... Maybe that's the new feminist law, so men don't pee standing up as you go into the bathroom. They got a decapitation drone waiting in there.
Drones don't have guillotines, just train cars.
Exactly. Well, we're all drones now, aren't we? That's what our cars are, remote-controlled drone vehicles. So that's totally fake to make him look good. Michelle Obama navigates limits on women in Saudi Arabia, AP, and she, quote, refused to wear a hood over her head. And so that's very shocking. And Obama, of course, bowed to everyone as usual. He loves dictatorships. He wants to be a dictator. He is becoming a dictator. So he's kind of there learning from the guys that know how to do it. A bunch of corrupt freaks. Oh, just look at Kim Jong-un, the Queen of England, any form of royalty, and it makes me want to just throw up. And that is what Kim Jong is a hereditary dictator. Meanwhile, again, Michelle Obama's face blurred by Saudi state television, although claim disputed. That's right. No one makes women wear hoods over their heads or puts them in prison if they drive cars in Saudi Arabia. That's a conspiracy theory. And China doesn't sell political dissidents organs like the State Department under Clinton claimed. Even though it's admitted and they run ads advertising in English, we have, quote, fresh organs. Fresh. Davos economist, already spent a whole first hour on this. You need to listen to that in retransmission. The Davos economist warning of riots in the U.S. and Europe if we don't give them $100 trillion at the Davos group is George Soros's basically chief of staff and is warning of things that they're actually funding. You can't make that up. I shouldn't laugh. It's really sick. Oh, my gosh. White House drone crash described as a U.S. worker's drunken lark. Yes, it was 42 degrees and raining lightly about 3 a.m. on Monday when an inebriated off-duty employee for a government intelligence agency decided it was a good time to fly his friend's drone, a 2-foot by 2-foot quadricopter. And if it is one of the primitive ones just a few years ago, or more primitive, they can get away from you when you get out of radio range and they just fall. That sells for hundreds of dollars. And so he was drunk, and they're not going to charge him. You know, if you weren't a god man, a fed, are you a god? Like they ask in Ghostbusters. He says, well, yes, I am a fed. And they go, then you